So, I recently cleared both Fire and Wind Mercurial Gauntlet level 50, and I wanted to share some of the tips and tricks I used to get those clears, starting with Fire. Do note this is only one viable option, and this isn't even the strongest this team can get, but it does use Xander and the limited units Eyasu and Gala Cleo, as well as several limited dragons and Prince, but the dragons can be swapped out for other non-limited ones, and there are viable alternatives to the Prince. I'll start with some general tips for the fight using the setup, and end with the uncut footage of the clear. My clear team stats will be along the side, and any Elisanne helper with a level 3 skill will do just fine. First, control Xander and use Force Strike. Attack only once between the Force Strikes. He's also going to need the Dragon Leviathan. Xander's skill 2 should charge just in time to iframe the first attack using that strategy as long as you don't use a helper skill. You have a full 2 minutes to use the helper skill, and it makes for a great panic iframe. Xander S1 charges fast enough to commonly use for the iframe, but any skill that is charged will do. Typically, you should use skills as soon as you get them so they can start charging again, unless you are close to Roy's attack and won't have an iframe up. Remember, you can use a helper instead, but you'll probably want to save one for the middle of the first break. Dragon just before breaks, you can start attacking immediately. Use the skill immediately to bog. Use the 2 attack dodge combo with Leviathan, tapping twice, then dodging for maximum DPS. If he starts shooting a beam, you've gone too far into the combo and you're losing DPS. If Gala Cleo has her buff zone out, try to stay in it. If you need to iframe during the break in dragon form, use your ready to Elisanne helper skill. Try to space out your helper buffs through the 2 minutes. If you use them later in the fight, you might not be able to deploy them all, or you might have the buff run past the time limit and lose out on that potential strength. I accidentally swapped to Eyasu when I tried the dragon the second time, but it worked out pretty well anyway. I have no clue if Leviathan would have worked just as well, but Leviathan would also have gotten the on-element damage. Finally, here's the uncut run of my clear.
家臣の頼みなら仕方あるまい。ファフファフこれが最後のようだな。打ち取りましょう。VR メールストロームマジェスティックサイド我にひれ伏せマジェスティックタイド VR メールストロームマジェスティックタイドドラゴンの力を我に VR メールストローム我にひれ伏せマジェスティックタイドブレイブフォースマジェスティックタイド VR メールストロームブレイブフォースマジェスティックタイドドラゴンの力を我にひれ伏せブレイブフォースお任せを川柳マジステ参るコッパみじんになりやがれそれ近づきたぞ行けみんなゆっくりと疲れを癒すがよい